Hi everyone, I'm Luke and welcome to our All Age Service. Now this is our last service in a group that we've been doing all about trust. Now do you remember way back, weeks and weeks ago, we learned a memory verse from the Bible. Now if you can remember it, try and say it with me. We go, trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him and He will make your paths straight. Now that's Proverbs 3 verse 5 and 6. Well done if you remember that, that's awesome. Now this week we're going to look at another really cool Bible story, and this one's about a guy called Joshua who really trusted in God. But before we start, let's pray. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, we cross our arms, and 5, we bow our heads. And we say, Dear Jesus, thank you that we can all come together again to learn lots about you and have fun playing games and singing songs. In your name, Amen. Now, I'm going to hand over to Chris, who's going to teach us an incredible new song, and you might see some people you recognise. Over to you, Chris.
Hey, thanks Luke. Hey guys, we're going to try a new song this week. It's all about a theme from David. We did that a couple of weeks ago, do you remember? David and Goliath, and we've got a brand new song that I think is absolutely awesome. So, to be able to do that, I need a guitar. So, remember what we did in the first week, a little bit of magic. We're going to go, here we're going to go, and there's going to be a guitar appearing. Get ready! There we go. Okay, now I need a little bit more trickery because we've got some volunteers that are coming along to help us with the actions. So what I need to do is be up in a box right about here. So here we go, are we ready? I need to think really hard about this one. Get ready. 3, 2, 1.
Wow, wasn't that just the best song? Did you see anyone you recognised? You might have seen me in it. I was pretty good. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to go and visit our friends the puppets and see what they've been up to. Over to the puppets!
Hi everyone, I'm in charge today. Our mum has gone out and I have to get everybody ready for church by myself. I'm almost ready, Polly. I've got dressed and have eaten breakfast. That's great, Daisy. Thank you for helping so much. How are you doing, Spud?
Not good, Polly. Not good at all.
Why is that, Spud?
Well, I can't find my socks. I have some gum in my hair. There's nothing I like for breakfast. And my t-shirt has gone pink in the wash. But that's not even the worst thing.
What's the worst thing? It can't be important, Spud. We're leaving in 10 minutes. Everyone else is ready. Hallie and Bunty will be here soon, and I promised we would leave on time.
I'm very well aware of this, Polly. But that does not change the fact we have a massive issue here.
Here we go, Spud's off again. That's not very nice, Daisy. I'm sure if Spud is running late, we will have a really, really good reason. Won't you, Spud? Sorry, Spud. What's the reason?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Daisy. It's a world-changing problem that if we don't fix, everything will fall apart.
Spud, what is it? Hi, everyone. Are you ready?
I bet Spud isn't. He never is.
Yeah, he's never ever been on time for anything.
Oi! I take offence to that, and I can be on time if I want to. I just like to make an entrance. This time, I'm going to do the first one ready.
But Spud, you're not ready.
Well, I
You're the
would
only
be.
one who isn't ready.
Well, I would be if there wasn't a world-changing problem that if we didn't fix, everything would fall apart.
You said that, Spud. What's the problem?
I've lost all my lucky things that I take everywhere with me.
Lucky things? Hang on. What do you mean all your lucky things? How many do you have?
A few.
How many?
Well, I'm a four-leaf clover, my lucky horseshoe that I can't go anywhere without, my lucky penny, and most importantly, my extremely expensive, authentic, real plastic rabbit that cost me 4 weeks pocket money.
Spud, why on earth do you need all those lucky things?
If I didn't have them, Hallie told me I'd be in big trouble. She said I need at least 4 lucky things at all times to prove it straight away I got lucky and she had spares of everything that she sold me.
Hallie, is that right? Maybe. That's really mean, Hallie. You know Spud can be easy to convince sometimes. Hang on. Extremely expensive, authentic, real plastic rabbit? Are we not going to talk about that?
Nothing to talk about. Bunty, it is 100% real and the luckiest thing you can own. Isn't that right, Hallie?
Hallie, you need to apologise to Spud and give him his pocket money back. You know that was a mean thing to do.
Me? What does that mean, Polly? She did me a huge favour. If I didn't carry these lucky things around, who knows what would have happened?
But you don't have them now, Spud, and everything's okay?
Well, this days you're right. Oi, Hallie, what is going on?
Spud, you don't need to carry around lucky things. Don't you remember what Chris said last week?
That's right, Polly. He told us that we just need to trust in Jesus and he will look after us.
Well, yeah, obviously, that's right. Chris is always right. But Hallie said we also need a little extra top-up of luck to keep us going. Isn't that right, Hallie?
I remember. Chris told Spud Noah how he trusted God.
That's right, Bunty. Noah was a righteous man and was really close to God.
Yeah, and he really trusted God.
I think I might have been busy counting the ceiling tiles. I don't remember any of that.
You don't remember the story of Noah?
Nope. I only remember the amazing jokes he told, like, where did Noah keep the bees on his ark? In the archives. Whee.
Oh, Spud, that's bad.
Yeah, the best one was, what kind of lights did Noah have on the ark? Floodlights.
Bunty, that was even worse.
Yeah, Hallie, and I can't believe Spud, you missed the whole point. Noah had to trust God completely. Don't you remember about the ark?
Oh, yeah. He had to build a big boat.
That's right, Spud. God told him he was going to start again with the world, and that Noah had to build a boat and fill it with all the animals.
That can't be right. How do you get all the animals in the boat? The crocodiles would have eaten the other parts.
Spud, that's what Chris was talking about this morning. So we need to get going.
So hang on. I don't need any lucky charms?
No, Spud, I'm sorry. I'll give you your pocket money back, I promise. That's good of you, Hallie. No, Spud, we don't need to carry around lucky things with us. We just have to trust God to look after us. We have to listen to Him and obey Him. And even then, things may not always be perfect, and we won't get everything we want. But God can give us everything we need if we put our trust in Him.
You know, Spud, Noah trusted God even though everyone else laughed at him. He had faith, and that's why Noah and his family were kept safe. That's how we should be.
That's great. I don't think this was really an authentic, real plastic rabbit foot anyway. Sorry, Polly, I'll get ready right now. Bye, boys and girls.
Thanks, Bud. We'll be in the car waiting. Bye, boys and girls.
Goodbye, puppets. Wow, wasn't that amazing that we learned that we have to trust in God and not in other things? Okay, we are going to jump straight into a game. So what you're going to need for this game is one pillow, like this. This is going to be our wall of Jericho. So you're going to have this, put it on the floor, and this is what you're going to have to jump over. Now, on this side, we have Jericho. And on this side, we have the wilderness. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of what you're going to do. When I say Jericho, you need to be on the Jericho side of your wall. And when I say wilderness, you're on this side. So Jericho, wilderness. Okay, I've got a huge team of volunteers. The youth have agreed to help us out. So I just need to go up here and we'll get started. Whoa, that is high. Alright, whoo. Are we ready? On the count of 3, we're going to start. 1, 2, 3, and we're in Jericho. Wilderness, Jericho. Wilderness, Jericho. Jericho. Wilderness, Jericho. Jericho. And we're going to go to the wilderness, and we're going back to Jericho. Jericho. Wilderness. Oh, wait. Jericho. Jericho. Wilderness. Yeah, you can go. Don't copy me. Do what I say. So we're in the wilderness. Jericho. Wilderness. Jericho. Jericho. Wilderness. Ooh. Wilderness. Jericho. Wilderness. Jericho. Jericho. Wilderness. Wilderness. Jericho. Wilderness. Jericho. Wilderness. Okay, take a breath. That's round 1. Well done. Let's go from Jericho. And we're going to the wilderness, back to Jericho, and then the wilderness, and then Jericho, and then Jericho, and then the wilderness. Jericho, wilderness, wilderness. Jericho, wilderness, Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Wilderness, Jericho, wilderness, Jericho. Wilderness, wilderness, Jericho, wilderness, Jericho, Jericho. Round 2 complete. Final round, are you ready? We're starting in Jericho. Wilderness, Jericho, wilderness, Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Did I get you? Wilderness, did I get you again? Jericho. Wilderness, Jericho, wilderness, Jericho, 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 wilderness, Jericho. Jericho, wilderness, Jericho, wilderness. And relax. Okay, now I'm going to need to come out of this box now. Can I come out? Whoa, it's good to be back on the land. How did you find the game? Did you enjoy it? That's great. Now we've got a craft just for you, so we're going to pass over to the youth. Well, wasn't that a great craft? Thank you, youth, so much. And we want to see what you've just made. So ask your mums and dads to share pictures of what you've just made to the WBC Facebook site. The link is in the description below as always. Now, I'm going to hand over to Chris, who's going to tell us about this amazing man in the Bible who really trusted God. Okay, over to you, Chris.
Thanks, Luke. So, we've been looking at trust these past few weeks, and I just wanted to recap on it a little bit. So, the first week we looked at the proverb. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. It's a verse that's been with me for many, many years, as I think I said a few weeks ago. And there's lots of things to think about, but what it really means is that we trust God and everything will kind of work itself out. It might always be perfect, but it'll work itself out. And then we looked at David and the fact that he was a shepherd and yet he fought this huge giant. And he trusted God so much that he gave his life and knew that he could trust God with whatever happened, and he became a king. And then we looked at Daniel, who again was a man who trusted God so much. He was a slave, and yet he trusted God, and everything kind of worked out, even though he had to have a little nap with some lions at the time. God's amazing. This week we're looking at a man called Joshua, who has an experience where he was told he was going to lead his people into a promised land. But there were people already living there. And he was told to do something really weird. He was told to march around a wall over a space of a week and just keep marching round and round the city. And on that last day, they would all blow trumpets and suddenly that wall would fall and they'd be able to take over that whole land. Now, if I was asked to do that, if I was asked to march around a building knowing that on the 7th day, that building would fall to bits so we could build our new church there, I'm not sure I'd have the faith to do it. But Joshua did. These are the people that we need to really be thinking about when we're going back to school, and we're going to be looking at going back to school the next couple of weeks. We got to trust God. And I know that's really hard. And when mums and dads are worried because of everything we locked down, and when we're worrying and you guys are worrying, it's easy to just get stuck in that feeling. What I want you to do is next time you're really worried is think about that verse, trust in the Lord. And I want you to remember one other thing. It's something that we've talked about a lot over the years. And when I've been with you guys, we looked at Joshua a lot. Do you remember? We do something with our hand. That's the same Joshua. And when we look at our hand, I want you to remember this. And hopefully you're doing it with me right now if you remember it. In Joshua chapter 1, verse 5, it says, I will never leave you. Now then, who's the I? The I is God. When it says in the Bible, I will never leave you, it's God is saying that. God will never leave you. And who is the you? Well, the you is me, Chris. The you is you guys out there, so put your name in it. God will never leave Chris. If Chris puts his trust in God, God will wrap his arms around him and he'll keep me safe. I really want you to remember that. Remember Joshua chapter 1, verse 5. I will never leave you. God will never leave you. God will never leave Chris. If Chris puts his trust in God, he'll wrap his arms around him and he'll keep him safe. These are the things we want to be thinking about. And when we're going back to school and we're talking to our friends and they're worrying as well, remember that. Share it with your friends. If you want to talk about this, ask mums and dads. If mums and dads, if you want us to give you any more ideas, advice, if you want to ask any questions yourself, if your children are asking questions that you don't know the answer to, get in touch anytime through our Facebook site, through the YouTube chat at the bottom. We're here for you always. We might not know the answers, we might be proved wrong, but we'll always try our very best to trust God and follow his advice. So we're going to go on now to Saddleback Kids. They're going to teach us about Joshua and a little bit more about that walking around the wall and how Joshua trusted God. So let's hand over to Saddleback Kids, and I'll see you all later.
The Faithful Hall of Fame, Joshua. This is Joshua.
Oh, hey.
Joshua was the leader of the Israelites, who God used to bring his people to the Promised Land.
Yeah, let's do it.
When God told Joshua it was time to take the Promised Land, Joshua sent spies into the city of Jericho. While those spies were in Jericho, they were protected by a woman named Rahab. The spies promised to spare Rahab and her family when they took back the land.
Yay!
And she hung a scarlet cord from her window to remind them of their promise.
See you soon!
Now the Israelites had crossed the Jordan and were camped near the town of Jericho.
Hey!
Hello.
One day, Joshua looked up,
Huh?
and there was a man standing before him.
Hello.
The man said, "I am the commander of the army of the Lord." Joshua asked what the man wanted to tell him, and the Lord said he wanted Joshua to take the city of Jericho,
All right.
but that Joshua needed to follow his instructions exactly.
You got it.
Jericho was shut for fear of the Israelites.
Anyone home? Yeah, well.
No one came out and no one came in. So the Lord told Joshua to gather his soldiers and march around the city for 6 days.
Mark.
The priests were to take the Ark of the Covenant, and 7 priests were to go in front of it, blowing a ram's horn. On the 7th day, they were to march around the city 7 times and blow the horn. Then all the people of Israel were to give a great shout,
Then what?
and then the city walls would fall.
Whoa! Yeah, let's do it.
So Joshua said, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city." And the people did shout. And the walls did fall.
Let's go!
The Israelites overtook the city of Jericho as God had commanded.
Rahab.
They remembered Rahab because of her faithfulness. Joshua was faithful in carrying out God's commands, and the Israelites took many other cities as God told them they would.
Oh, nice.
For God will never fail to fulfill his promises. So the Israelites came to live in the land that God had promised Abraham, Isaac, Israel, Joseph, and Moses many years ago.
Wasn't that an awesome cartoon by the Saddleback Kids? I love those guys. Ayo! Now, we have time for one more song. So, over to the guys at Hillsong Kids. Take it away.
I lay my life down at your feet. You're the only one I need. I turn to you and you are always there. In troubled times it's you I see. I put you first, that's all I need. I humble all I am, all to you. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. You're the only one, you're the only one. Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. Are you having fun? Well, what we're gonna do now is we're all gonna get down nice and low. That's it, how low can you go? And we're gonna sing, you are the way, the truth and the life. Come on, let me hear ya. You are the way, the truth and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. Up a bit higher. You are the way, the truth and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. You are the way. You are the way, the truth and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. You are the way, the truth and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. Come on!
Thank you so much, Hillsong Kids. Wasn't that a great song? Just remember, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Now, as always, remember we've got our download pack in the description below so you can get lots of fun games and activities off of there that will keep you entertained for ages. I'm really sorry, but that's all we've got time for today. So just before we go, I'm just going to pray. So remember, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, we cross our arms, and 5, we bow our heads and we say, Dear Jesus, thank you so much that we can all come together and have so much fun today, playing games, singing songs, and learning about you. May we all remember to trust you just like Joshua did, even when things don't make sense. Amen. Now, make sure you come back same time next week where we'll have a WBC Kids service that you can enjoy all over again. Bye everyone!